So good morning, you guys. We are here, and today is the day we are putting the engine in good old War Wagon here. My goal is to basically have it running and drive it back up to my house from the shop, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. We've never really had any issues before, with putting an engine in. So yeah, I think we have everything. I still have to do a evac system on my exhaust, but I can go ahead and run it today. I just can't go race without it. That's what my engine builder told me I needed. So we're going to get that marked up on the header and take the header to him. He's going to weld in the fitting and whatnot for the evac system, and then we'll run the tubing however we need to. But just in case you guys didn't see the last video, we have started a Patreon site. We already have patrons already, which thank you guys so much. That means the world to us. I'm going to leave the link down here in the bottom of the video. I'm also going to leave a card up here to that video where you can see what you can get for each tier for each month. You don't have to do this, but it is greatly appreciated. It helps keep this race car on the track. It helps keep that rat rod running, and it helps us make more videos for you guys. But with that being said, Joey's on his way over here. We're going to get the car pulled out, push it down to the shop, and get to work. Okay, so we're headed down to the shop now to set up our anti-shop fall down beams. Joey's here with me now. We're going to get that set up. We're going to grab the mule so that way we can push the car back to the shop. But we'll pretty much have everything ready once we roll in. I'm going to double check, make sure we have everything we need. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. So we'll see you guys now at the shop. So we have the support beams up now as extra bracing for that steel girder right there. What's next, Joey? What do we got there?
We gotta get a strap and go get the car and
bring it back. Yeah, that's right. We have to go get one of those straps, and we're gonna pull the car out and park it, hopefully. Well, we'll have to park it off to the side because the engine is currently in the back of the mule. So we'll kind of have to park it out of the way. We don't have a stand for the engine right now because that big old generator's sitting on it. So, yeah.
Yeah. You want to put it in the middle hole or?
So we've got the motor set on the ground, getting ready to head up and go get the race car. So here goes nothing. Headed down to the shop. So that'll be fun. And there's the rat rod. I would like to get back to driving. I've just been so busy with the race car. And here's probably the most fun part about being pushed down a hill in a vehicle with no power steering and just brakes. Oh, I got rocks hitting me in the face. This sucks. Oh, God. Oh, that was fun. First things first, we're going to get our little shaker screen on before it hits the radiator. It keeps kind of some of the smaller dirt out. Joey is currently cleaning the decking off. We bounced a lot of gravel up there, and there's some dust on it. Hopefully we'll be installing some of our Patreon supporters on our decking today, hopefully. But I'm going to grab this vent screen here and go ahead and get started on the little shaker screen. So the shaker screen is installed. It may be kind of hard to see, but it's right there. We put 2 zip ties up top and 2 below to kind of help stretch it out and cover that gap between this bar and the front bumper. And Joe's going to clip off the tails here. We figured we probably better do this before we forget about it and end up having a body put together and having to take it back apart just to put this in. I am going to have my chassis builder put us in some more duct work up front and hopefully that'll kind of help with the cooling issue, because we did have an issue with that last year. So I'm just running bolts down into the engine mounts and trying to see if they still fit fine. That one feels like it does. I'm gonna do that one wherever I put the bolt. And now we're running this one down. I think I'm still gonna take a tap to these and kind of clean them out. Uh-oh, that ain't good. That's not good. Oh, wait, there we go. So it feels fine. Yeah, I think I'm still gonna have to run a tap on these engine mounts and clean these out, because they're going in, like they're going in, but it feels like it's kind of rough. So I'm just gonna clean out the threads, and then oh goodness, there we go. And then clean them, come back, put the bolts in, and see if that works. Because this thing did sit outside for a while, and the cover kept flying off of it, so we said the heck with it. And now we're paying for it. Alright, so I think I got the bolt situation squared away. Joey's double checking that one. This one, we finally got working after messing with it for about 10-15 minutes. So now we're testing this one. So we're going to go ahead and change this tie rod before we put the engine back in the car. Joey's pulling the cotter pins out now. And you guys can see it's pretty bent. Alright, Joey's going to break it loose. Maybe. There you go. The reason we're going to leave the tire on is so we can move it pretty easy. We're just going to vaguely set the new inner and outer tie rod, and then what we'll do is we'll just bolt it back on without taking the tire off. We shouldn't have to. There we go. Now just pop it loose down there. And one bent tie rod. It's like a trophy fish, just really bent.
It's one of those aerodynamic tie rods.
So we have new tie rod bits. I get the box open. Oh yeah. I can throw everything in there. Yep. Cotter pin, bolts. And see. Yeah. What we're doing now, we're going to take the angle grinder, we're going to cut a little bit of the threads off of the tie rod. That way when we screw them in to the sleeve, they won't hit in the middle. We're going to put some grease on this to keep this from locking up again if we need to move it. Hopefully we won't. Hopefully we'll set it on the car and say the heck with it. Just playing. Not very sneaky. I said not very sneaky.
I didn't want to mess with you.
Well. Well, we'll get this put back together, and then we'll get it
Put back together.
Yeah. And be done with prep work before we put the engine in, because we've already spent 2 hours with bolts trying to get the fit right, and then they wouldn't fit, and it's been a long morning already. But we shall keep on boogieing, I guess. And again, I'm not going to set this just yet. I'm just going to get this in the ballpark, because we are going to have the same people set up that helped us last year, which was Caleb and Daryl McLaughlin. So big shout out to them for helping get this car right. But I'm just going to get set in there for right now. Okay, so we've got everything squared away, situated. New tie rod is in, inner and outer. Oz is here to help us put the engine in. We're going to set up that camera because it's out of the way, and get this thing set in here. And then we're going to take a lunch break.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right on. Wait, hang on. Stop for a second. A little bit more Joey, and I'll be able to lower it down some more. Alright, whoop.
Had to do last year, I think. Line up right on the fucking moon. How do you look, Joe?
Okay, so I don't know what's going on with our other camera, but it keeps shutting off on us. It's not the battery. I don't know what's going on, but anywho, motor is in the car, so we're making pretty good progress. We're actually going to take a lunch break before we get started on the next part, which is basically hooking everything up. We're pretty much going to take care of the whole engine compartment, and then what we're going to do is we're going to raise the car up, get drive shaft in, drive shaft loose, shit like it's hooked up, and then hopefully drive this car out of here. So we'll see you guys when we get back from lunch.
Alright, so what I'm going to be working on right now while they're over here working on the car, I'm going to take... Yeah, there's some...
We're back from lunch. We set up our camera here so Joe can work on the headers and we can work over here. Sorry.
Well, spoiler alert, I'll be working on the headers. I'm going to sand down the surface that bolts up to the engine. That way there's a good clean surface, no rust, no debris, anything. That's what I have to work with. Alright, so what we done was just take the little brush there, just clean these surfaces up, get all the rust and stuff off where they've been sitting, any leftover gasket. And we're going to go back with some gasket maker here and put a little bit around all the openings and ports, and this one will be ready to go back on the car. You want me to try to get down in these ports at all, Andrew?
Big enough we can slip over the fan. Tighten that down.
Least favorite thing to do.
That, no brakes.
I can deal with the no brakes.
Two bolts.
This one goes in. Yeah, that's the only one we're gonna be able to. Actually, shit.
Proceed. put the bar of justice in. The creator of men. Start mine in. For 9/16. You're about to know why we call it the bar of justice. You've never done the springs before,
the creator of men.
Hooker.
Here.
It's in the daytime.
Really? Huh. Sounds like my kind of place.
And the other one is Del Rey, which is on the other side. That's where ICP is from.
Did you expect anything different from
A lot.
me? Maybe. Or are we back to licking windows again?
Crayons.
So our saga continues with issues. We had to start or bump the car over to get the fan to line up with the radiator, and our solenoid went out. And I don't know how well you guys can hear that, but we're headed to Clover to go see if we can find one of these. If not, we're probably gonna have to go try a couple of parts stores. Our last resort is John Page Racing, which is on the other side of Rock Hill. It's about an hour from where we will be, so we really want to refrain from that. It's already 4:15, so we're trying to keep this down to a minimum, but or traveling down to a minimum. So we're gonna hit the road. So we're in luck. Jackson Enterprises had the starter solenoid we needed. Big thanks to them for helping us out with that. So we're on the way back to the shop. We're going to get this installed, hopefully at least spin the motor, make sure everything's nice, freed up, and we'll actually spin over. So we'll see you guys back at the shop. Because they should be the same bolt, same type bolt. Now just tighten that one down. Uno. Doso. Or uno. Depending on what part of the country you're in.
If you're in the slow part, it's just found a random one.
So we just got the solenoid hooked back up. As you just saw, we're about to test it now. Make sure the motor spins over. Power! So we're going to prime the system real quick, just to kind of speed up the process of getting fuel to the carburetor. We're going to stick an air nozzle on the breather vent for the fuel cell, just get fuel coming out right here. Then we'll hook it back up to the fuel pump, and then we'll turn the starter over, and hopefully with everything rolling, it'll pull vacuum up through the carburetor line or through the fuel pump, and we'll get fuel and we'll light it off. And then after that, we'll get everything else hooked up, and we should drive out of here. So I just set the camera up. We're letting the battery charge a little bit more, and guys, this is it. We are about to start the race car for the first time for 2019. I'm very excited. I'm also very nervous, but let's jump right to it. There you go. Just turn it one So we had a little bit of oil on the headers. It actually kind of gave us a miniature heart attack for a second, but she just took a little bit, but she fired right up, and that's awesome. She's purring like a kitten now. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to get all the drivetrain put in, and hopefully we'll back this thing right out of the shop today. Here, hopefully next 30 minutes. Let's give it a shot. So we're getting the shift linkage. I'm kind of crawling under the cart with Joey. There we are. His elbow's in the way. There it is. So we're getting ready to put the car on the ground, and as you guys can see, drive shaft is installed and locked down. All we should have to do now is bleed the hydraulic clutch cylinder, which is here, and we'll get it knocked out, and we should be able to drive this thing.
I was filming at a bad angle.
Trying to hurry up and do the minimize all. You know, brake fluid and cuts hurts real bad.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Okay, so we're bleeding the clutch. I'm getting my leg work over today. Probably need it though.
We don't skip leg day.
We don't skip leg day. we bleed clutches. Okay, I'm holding. Alright, so we've got the clutch bled. We're going to pick up some tools, and guys, we should be pulling out of the shop here in just a moment. So we just marked our header for our evac system. That's not something we're doing today. We're just going to pull this header off here, and we'll get it off to Dwight, our engine builder. We can't thank him enough for hooking us up with this engine. So yeah, we're pretty much ready to call it a day. I think that's why Joey's happy and dancing. We're almost done. So we're going to go ahead and get this done, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. So guys, that is it. Engine's in, the car runs and drives. We did have to take the header back off again for the evac system. Got the porch covered back up. Once we get the evac system set back up, we'll take it, get a body put on it, and then we'll have the car set up by our friends. Can't thank them enough for helping us out with that. That's Caleb and Daryl McLaughlin. Owe them a whole bunch. And once we do that, we'll run masking tape numbers till we can figure out decals. And guys, we're headed to the racetrack, so I'm really excited. The car sounds great. Haven't had any issues with it yet, but I'm real happy with it. I'm really excited. But with that, guys, again, thank you so much to all of our Patreon supporters. If you haven't checked that out, again, link is in the description. Any little bit helps us keep this thing running, and we can make more videos, more content for you guys, including hot rod and whatnot. But we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and as always, we will see you in the next video.
Bye. Bye-bye.